Ladies and gentlemen, filmmakers and moviegoers alike, welcome to this week's episode of Critically Casual. I just realized the graphics a little bit off. There we go. Hi, everybody. Oh, everything's a little bit off now for some reason. Strange. Things happen. Either way, hi. This is Critically Casual. I'm Srikov. That's Dev over there. Dorkydev. What's up, Dev?
Not much.
All right. Cool. So, I don't know. I want to apologize, I guess, to everybody for last week since we kind of didn't let anybody
You have
know.
nothing to apologize for.
Nothing? No?
Don't worry
Okay.
about it.
All right, fine. Sure. Well, we're here. We're doing this. Talking about movies. I'm tired. I told Dev this. I literally just got back from the movie theater right before the show, basically. So, yay. Fresh in my mind. We'll talk about some fun movies, I think.
Mine is like 2 weeks old.
Yeah. Understandable. Like I said, we didn't do it last week because it's fine. Whatever. All right, let's get in here. Let's start talking about our first movie. Unless there's anything, or not first movie. Sorry.
I do have to do one thing.
Okay. Gotta walk away and get some food.
I'll be right back.
All right. Oh, wait. I know where this is going. Every time. You guys can't see him. I can see him. It's okay, though. All right. I was half expecting something else, but I knew this was coming anyways.
What do you expected?
An outfit change.
Oh. How would I even change into?
Leon.
Oh, God. Dude, do you know how much work it is to put Leon's outfit together?
A lot.
Plus, my hair is this now. Like, it doesn't pull off Leon as well.
I mean, modern Leon, maybe. Just gotta swirly it up a little bit.
No, I'm saying it's blonde as fuck.
Fine.
Leon's not blonde. He's got brown hair in the games.
Doesn't matter. Cosplay it however you want.
I mean, fair, but like, I don't know. I just don't want to do it, okay?
Okay, fine. All right, now let's get in here. Let's start talking about this. That's the wrong button. No, I think that's the right button. Yeah, that's the right button. That's for sure. I hit the wrong thing earlier when I was setting up the movie. Silly me. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay, it froze for a moment there. All's right in the world now. This week, I've called this week the TA variant because it's the T virus. Ha 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 ha. And you know, it's kind of relevant to life news and stuff. Ha ha ha. Whatever. We're talking about Resident Evil 2002. And then we're getting into Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Oh, aren't I so clever with my titles? Yeah. I know I am. Okay. Let's get in here. Let's just start talking about our first movie today, which is Resident Evil Maiden. I put Resident Evil 2002 because a lot of Resident Evil out there.
There is.
Um, can you hit us with the numbers and stuff?
Gosh. This was released March 15th, 2002. Budget of 33 million. Gross US and Canada 40 million with an opening weekend of 17 and worldwide 102 million. How this got a sequel, I'm impressed.
Because it made money worldwide.
It made 100 million worldwide.
Yeah, it tripled its budget based off of what was estimated. But
True, I guess.
Well, yeah, this is a moneymaker.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, what was it? This was 2002. The first Resident Evil game came out early 90s, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I can look it up real quick.
Yeah, because Anybody who was probably old enough to start playing video games in 2002,
96. Mark. Oh, my
96.
birthday in 96. I was a year
Hey,
old.
nice.
Cool.
So, yeah, the first Resident Evil game came out in 96, and then 6 years later, they came out with this movie. I could see that this movie was definitely targeting male audiences, that's for sure. So that's probably why this came out pretty decently.
It definitely wasn't targeting the gaming audience.
No, this is like it's got its Easter eggs and it's like flashy moments in time that are like, haha, remember this from the video game? But it's definitely its own story that it tried to throw together using the
Yes.
same characters, which
No, not even the same
I
characters.
know.
Don't say that. I'm gonna call you out on that in a heartbeat.
But isn't her name Alice Redfield? I'm just kidding.
No, it's just Alice.
I know. uh yeah, none of these
It's
characters are.
Yeah, none of them are actually like. As far as I remember, none of them actually exist in that world. So yay. Yeah. No, I just. It's not good. Like this movie's just not good. Like it has nothing. It really does well, in my opinion.
I think the acting's okay. I don't think the writing's good, but I think what the actors tried to do with it was pretty fine.
That's
Um,
fair. I'll give you that, I guess.
yeah. I kind of agree with you though that this movie isn't that good of a movie. It's like the most interesting part of this entire film is the visual effects that they use for the grid sequence with the security system.
It doesn't hold up.
It kind of does. It like
The things that happen because of the grid
it's still pretty
doesn't hold
cool.
up.
Like sure, we've got better stuff nowadays, but I still think the effect looks really interesting based off of what they do. Uh Things that I don't like about this movie though are the male gaze that we totally see in this movie because I'm pretty sure we see every part of Mila naked.
Just about.
Yeah, pretty much. There's infrared like heat signature scenes where anytime you see a female, the heat signatures have giant boobs. Like there's literally a scene that I had to laugh at because it's like we're looking at the holographic map and we're zooming in on this heat signature and then it turns into Mila and it looks like the heat signature looks nothing like her because it's super sexualized. And I mean not super sexualized, it's literally just like how can we make this red dot absolutely certain to be female? Well, let's give the red dot bigger boobs and the bigger hips. Like it's just silly. And then yeah, a lot of this stuff really doesn't make sense. And you know, how do I explain this really? Um the whole thing about the daughter AI thing that was there just to be creepy, but it doesn't matter. Uh the plot with the characters and like their conflicts feels completely pointless once we find out what the ending is. Uh this movie just it has interesting visuals, I feel, at times, and it has great actors. But other than that, there's nothing really to watch here. I rambled. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. No, you're good. Like it's just no. For me, this movie just like I've also okay. I'm gonna put this out there. I've never been a big fan of the Resident Evil movies.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people around me love this series. I've never gotten it. Because I looked at it and went, "That's not how the games are." Like I haven't played a lot of Resident Evil games,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at it and went, "This is nothing like the games." With
No.
my limited experience with them.
Now you've played a handful of the video games.
And it's still not like the games.
Mm. But they have zombies and they got the mutated things like they had a dog and they had to show a liquor on screen at least once.
Fucking liquors.
Yeah,
That liquor was awful.
yeah, it was terrible. And it's like it wasn't even awful for like modern standards. It was kind of bad for 2000 standards.
It was definitely bad for 2002 standards.
And I gotta say, I thought the costume choice was interesting, especially at the beginning of the movie, where imagine you're Mila, you wake up in a shower completely naked without any memory of what's gone on with your life, other than you just woke up, and your choices of clothing are a red dress you find on the bed, or a bunch of white clothing you find in the cabinet, and you still choose the skimpy red dress.
I don't know. It's part of the issue of the movie's not good, Steven. What do you expect? There's no logic here.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. This movie isn't very good. You're right.
I know I am.
I thought it was funny too, like all the names that they gave everything. Like the base is called the Hive. Pretty sure that was never a thing in the Umbrella.
Not as far as I can remember.
Yeah. There's some. Yeah. Yeah. This is definitely. I remember thinking about this too when this movie ended. I was like, this is easily more of an action sci-fi movie than it is a horror movie action thing. Like this wasn't scary even in 2002. This was just, I mean, they tried. I mean, and some would say they succeeded because, they got how many movies out of this franchise?
Too many.
Yeah. Way too many. Because let's see here. Because there's Resident Evil 2, then there's Resident Evil 3, and oh wait, now they're also recommending Underworld to me. Never going there. What?
I mean, I'm okay with that not going there. We've started Resident Evil, so eventually we will finish Resident Evil.
We're gonna have to finish this whenever they release the whatever movies that they're gonna do. Whenever, yeah, this isn't done with. We're gonna get there. Whatever.
Yeah.
Like I wanted. Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. Like this movie just doesn't do a lot for how long it is too. Like it is an hour and 40 minutes, and you just kind of sit there for a long time, kind of wanting the movie to do something.
Well, I mean,
they're poking with a stick, going, "Come on, movie, do something."
Yeah, I know you have a zombie waiting to happen. And I feel like the part of the problem is just how it was written. Our main character has no agency or urgency in anything because she doesn't remember what the hell she's doing. So she's just along for the ride, and it's just whatever pace that the writers decide to take us on. She doesn't have any direct influence on the story until the last quarter of the movie, and then that's when it starts to feel important. Like things actually start to feel like they're happening. Because we're actually completely invested at this point. And, well, not, like, she's actually invested at this point. But then once we get to that point in the movie, things switch over, and our bad guy isn't who we thought it would be. And it's poorly done. Especially after, everything that they've gone through. I don't know.
Yeah.
Though I do gotta say, I like I do like parts of the train sequence at the end. Not all of it, because that awful monster that they created is terrible. But it was okay.
Yeah, I didn't enjoy it. So I'm not gonna lie to you, buddy.
I mean, I get you. The only reason why I enjoyed it is because I liked what they did in that moment to increase the stakes. Because they're trying to escape, and then a big monster attacks, I think it was. I don't have it perfect. And then they finally maybe kind of have the monster under control, and then suddenly another zombie shows up that they're like, oh, we're fine. Everything's going to be okay about. No. And it just escalates the situation even further, and I kind of like that. I thought it was good storytelling in that instance. Even though I wasn't really like invested in the conflict that was being shown. If you get my point idea there.
I get your point.
Yeah.
No, I get what you're saying. For me, I don't know. Like during that scene, I'd kind of toned out at this point. Like I was like, all right, this is yeah, we're here. We're at the end of the movie, and something has to happen at the end of the movie. We
Mhm.
don't have an antagonist to take down at this point. We don't have like, yeah, we have a ticking clock, but like we know she's gonna make it out because the movie has never made it like seem like she won't. It's also left me on a point with like future spoilers in a sense.
Mhm.
Um, when I can't remember when she gets her things that she can do in the future ones.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember it either.
Which just again just leaves how like impactful this series is. That I don't remember that at
Mhm.
all.
Yeah. Like,
Also, the fact that like again, a slight spoiler, but Wesker's going to be showing up in this series at some point.
wait, Wesker, really?
Yeah, he's supposed to be. He's in the like this series of Resident Evil movies.
Mhm.
And I'm just like, my brain's going like, but how? But why?
How does he fit in? I mean,
I don't remember the order of these movies either.
I don't remember. Like, there it we'll get there though. We'll see them all in like 20 years.
Um, Apocalypse, Extinction, Afterlife, Retribution, the final chapter. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. This is one of those times where I'm like, hey, we shouldn't make video game movies.
Yeah, this is definitely one of I forgot this was a video game movie. Fuck. All
Guess what?
right.
It's not getting above.
Yeah, definitely not. Oh man. Wow.
Speaking of which, do we want to do it now or do we want to do it once we talk about the other one?
Um, let's do it before we head into spoilers.
Okay. And we'll rank both of them.
Yeah.
All
So,
right then.
sorry, am I a little jittery to you on like video?
Your like your quality's gone down. I'm looking over the stream though. You look jittery over there.
Yeah, I was like
Move.
stream quality's fine. It's just the like the upload rate of my camera. Oh wait,
Oh,
as I say it, the stream dropped a little bit.
I don't
Huh.
know. It's a little. I mean, it gets compressed when it's sent to me.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm not sure. Couldn't
Okay.
tell you.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going as best we can and see how far we can get.
All right.
So, uh, popcorn kernels, I guess, for this movie because I haven't really got anything else to talk about.
I'm fine with popcorn kernels.
Okay, here's your 10 popcorn kernels. Then, Dev, how many
I'm
you give
giving it a 4.
for? Yeah, I can see that.
Oh, you're giving it a 4 as well?
Uh, maybe a 4.5 actually. Yeah, because there's
Okay.
a few. I liked a few things in here that you obviously didn't, so I could give it a higher rating than you.
Fair enough.
But the one thing that
Excuse me.
always gets me, because I've seen this movie a handful of times, it's just literally how much of Mila that they throw on the camera. They're like they give her no clothing in this movie. And I mean, sure,
Yeah,
she's
it's
done that.
2000s.
I know, yeah. And she's done that in other movies too. But like this movie is based off of a video game which is for young adults. I guess it all makes sense. Whatever. Let's
Yeah.
just move past it and move on to our next movie. Which our next movie.
It's Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Welcome to Raccoon City.
Yeah.
which had an opening weekend of $5 million. Gross US, $13 million. And worldwide gross, $24 million.
So it's made money so far.
Has it?
I don't know.
It's not giving me a budget, but I'm not going to consider that making money. It's made $24 million worldwide.
Yeah, I doubt that it's gonna make.
That is why I'm going to say this right now. I don't think we're getting a sequel.
I could probably see a sequel. Maybe.
I mean, I'm also going to be honest. Like, no one wanted to see this.
You're not wrong. I mean, and I even, like I said, I went to the theater just about an hour ago. I got home about an hour ago. I don't even know what I saw. My biggest complaint in this movie is it's too fucking dark. Like,
That's the fair complaint.
yeah. Like,
I mean, it's trying to get the ambience of the games, but the
Mhm.
games do a thing where, like, you can see things.
Yeah,
Right?
you could still see, like, even if it's complete darkness around the edges, there's still like a bluish gray kind of. You could kind of see what's ahead of you down the hallway. And this
Yeah.
movie, we got none of that. It's just the opening segment, like the inciting incident of the story with the semi truck and our character Claire, like when they're driving into town, like he runs somebody over and there's blood on the ground and there's blood all over his truck, and like there's scenes where you could see the hair of her like over the edge of the truck, but it's so hard to see anything that's happening. Like it's just so dark, like you can't even see the blood that's on the front of the truck, even though it's supposed to be covering the front of the truck. Like you could see the texture of it, but you can't see the red color on the darkness that is
dark.
there. Yeah, and it doesn't stop there with that kind of stuff. And I think it all has to do with the CG of this movie, because the CG in this movie is pretty terrible. Like that all looks rubbery or super shiny or just really bad. So they darkened everything to hide it, and it's all
But
just
it's not a
too hard to
natural
see.
darkness.
Yeah, it's just too dark to see. The only time I liked the darkness was the segment with Chris, when he's trying to fight his way through the horde and the gunshots were lighting up different faces each and every time. That was the only time I liked how dark it was.
Yeah, I mean, that scene was all right. I don't know. Like, I have issues with a lot of this shit because it was just like, dude, I don't know. Like, this is not like uh a slight to anyone in this movie because I think everyone did their roles really well.
Yeah.
I think
Well, I have one person who I didn't like the acting of, but that's I'll get to that in a
who?
second. The police chief, Chief
Oh,
Irons.
Donald
Yeah.
Lute.
Yeah.
Lute? I can't. I don't know how to say this. You know what's funny about him? I'm so glad you brought him up naturally without me having to be the one to do this.
Hmm.
When we first see him, he's like the shot's all the way back.
Mm-hmm.
He's in a window, and you can't make out who it is. But my brain did somehow and went, "Is that him?"
Mm-hmm.
Like I went, "Is he? Wait, is he in the window?" And as soon as it was him, I'm like, "How the fuck did I make him out from there?"
Yeah, I couldn't
Through
make it
a
out.
rainy window.
I was like, who the hell is this person? Why is he important?
Well, no, I thought it was the actor.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
Like I don't know how I made out him from like that rainy window from like
That you only
50
see like
yards
2
back.
seconds of.
Yes. I went, is that him? And then it gets closer. I'm like, oh, it is him. Why did my brain notice that was him?
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't know how the fuck my brain made that out.
Mhm.
But that happened. I was like, okay, I guess I have the ability to make out someone from that far away and to be accurate.
Yeah.
Neat.
It just
Um,
I didn't like him in this movie because he felt too animated, I guess. Like his tone or his delivery just felt too cartoony. Too much like it was a video game, I guess.
that's fair. I
uh,
mean, I think that's part of this one's problem it's trying to do too much from the video game and it's failing at it.
I'd say yes.
because like it is trying to combine at least the first two games together. And game 2 has two plot lines
Yeah, from
with
two different
Claire
characters.
and Leon.
But hey,
There
they
is
got there.
yeah,
I
we
mean,
missed like half of their context together. Like
mhm.
we don't get the scene where we don't get the goddamn gas station scene, which is upsetting.
Dude, there was a lot in this
Um,
movie that we didn't get, and that shows because I by the end of the movie, I was sitting there, I was thinking, so what was the point? What were they trying to do in this movie? Like, because exactly, the movie starts with Claire coming in to save her brother Chris, and then the movie happens around that, I guess, and it never like was. It goes to like the next step to the next step, always escalating it further down like this plot that we don't know what it is. It just feels like we're kind of on the ride for.
you know what it is if you know the games. Like Claire's
Yeah.
just trying to take down the umbrella, which honestly is more actually Jill's storyline, by the way, during Resident Evil 3. But I digress. Um, like because Jill's the one who's supposed to like have the incident from Resident Evil 1 game and take that into going into 3 and going like, hey, we need to stop we need to stop Umbrella.
Hmm.
Um, and the events of Resident Evil 3 and 2 happening about the same time. Um, like,
Different
yeah, there's a
locations.
lot of stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's now not able to happen in this universe because of things that happen in this movie.
Hmm.
And like, honestly feel like they just tried to do too much. Like they did way too much. Like there's a character who shows up at the like end of the movie,
Yep.
um, who is pivotal to one of the characters' story in the games. And they aren't in the movie until like the end.
Yeah.
And that relationship that needs to be there as a foundation to like the series, if you're trying to adapt it closer to the games, hi monster, is it's just not gonna work. I was thanking for the sub.
Yeah.
Because like you don't have that, like they have a fundamental relationship to the series, and now they don't know each other.
Hmm.
Like the fuck? And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. And it's kind of upsetting. Um, the other stuff too, just like um I don't know why we needed to have everyone. What? Like,
Like
I don't know
every
why we
character
needed
in this
everyone.
movie.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
needed every character in this movie. Um, because let me look up him real quick.
Like legitimately all the
Um,
characters that we got. I was like, why do I recognize
yeah,
all of these names in this one movie?
you
This feels
do
like it's
because
too
like
much.
it is 100%. So like, just to name off a couple of people that are like, name off some of the people that are like are most like the ones that we spend a lot of time with. We have Claire and Chris Redfield, Jill
Hmm.
Valentine, Albert Wesker, um, Leon Kennedy, Chief Irons, William Birkin. Um, we have Richard Ekin, um, and Vickers. Also, Ben Bertolizzi. I can never say his last name. Is in
Bertolucci.
it. Like, yeah, it's yeah.
I don't even like in the moment of the movie, I couldn't remember who Ben was. But but then after a moment, I was like, "Oh wait, isn't that character? Yes, that is that character." Okay. Just because I was on overload with all the other stuff. And they also introduced characters who like I just may be ignorant here, but I don't know who the hell Lisa Trevor is. at all. But she has a full name, which makes me think that she's super important.
Capcom database. Oh, she is. She's the Lisa Travis, the uh like person from the orphanage.
Well, I know who the person is in the movie,
Oh,
but in the franchise of the video game world, I've never heard of her.
let me figure out what game. In the Resident Evil remake and Resident Evil: The Umbrella Chronicles.
Resident Evil remake is you mean like the Resident Evil movie or the video game? I think
Video
that's the
game.
game. Okay.
The video game remake in 2002.
Why don't I remember?
Which, again, means she doesn't know Claire in that world.
Uh-huh. But they changed the origin of Claire and Chris for this movie. Didn't they?
Yeah, well, and I'm okay with changes,
Yeah,
okay?
small changes are fine.
As long as it makes sense. And this movie didn't make it make sense. And dude, we got halfway through this movie, and I'll be honest, I was the only one in the theater, so I was snapping some people. I was like, all right, so I'm just gonna dick around because nothing is happening in this movie. And as soon as I sent like two people, this movie is fucking boring. Then the cool shit kind of happened. And I will admit, this movie has some cool fucking moments.
Yeah.
The mansion is cool. Like when shit pops off, it's cool.
Yeah, that mansion
Um,
sequence is great. That's the best moment in this entire movie.
like the shit that happens in the mansion is just like all around. Like I think the mansion's the most entertaining part.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is really fucking boring.
There's also just bad decisions in what they did. Like the part where we're driving with Chief Irons, I think was my least favorite segment in this entire movie, only because of how it was filmed. Because it's filmed as if there's a person sitting in the passenger seat with him, and he's like moving the camera and reacting to things like, oh, like he's literally driving with somebody on a documentary, but there is no other person with him. It's just Chief Irons on his own, and it just feels so strange to watch that segment.
It does feel weird.
Yeah.
Um, Also, side note, Marvel Connections of the day.
There's a few of them.
I have two. What's your
That-
you have
okay, that's
you
a
have
couple.
more?
Sorry. My apologies. There's a couple of them.
Yeah, I have two that I know of.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't ran through the entire cast yet. Okay.
I've been doing that as we've been talking. Like,
We have Hannah John Carmen, who played Ghost, in Ant-Man and the Wasp,
ooh.
and a personal favorite actor of mine. I love this man in a lot of stuff that he's in because he's really good at hamming up stuff, and having fun with it. Neil McDonald, who played Dun Dun Dugan in
Mm-hmm.
Captain America: The First Avenger, and a few shorts here and there from the Marvel Universe. Um,
I have a question.
yes,
Does the original 1998 Blade count?
depends on the multiverse.
Yeah. Because if so, then Donald would count too. But
True. Yeah, twice. Depends on the multiverse. But like he's one of my favorite people. Like he's great.
Neil McDonald.
Yeah, I mean, I talked about this when we talked about Sonic the Hedgehog because he was in there. I've talked about this several times when he shows up. He's in the Arrowverse as Damien Dark. Which is funny because also in the Arrowverse, Rami
Robbie
Armel is
Amell.
in there,
Yeah.
who played Firestorm in the first season of The Flash. Whose cousin is Stephen Armel, who played Oliver Queen on Arrow, the start of the Arrowverse.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I just this fun little tangent you
Tidbits.
can go off
Yeah.
there. Which is funny because this man is now is Neil is both a DC and Marvel alumni, which is awesome. And now a video game alumni. I mean, he's been in video games before, but like he's now he's a video game alumni from a movie, um,
Because there's a
for
difference.
adults because he was in Sonic the Hedgehog. Like he's all over the place, and I love it. Okay, I do. He's just great. Um, I always get a kick when I see him because he's super recognizable every
Absolutely.
time too. He's arguably one of the most recognizable character actors out there. It's so good.
And it's all because of his platinum blonde hair and his sparkling blue eyes and that
Yes,
chiseled chin.
he is like he's really easy to make out. Even when he's got like wigs and stuff on, like immediately I'm like, hey, it's Neil. It's good. He's good. I always get a kick out of him, and I think he's good in this. I don't like some of the changes they did um William Birkin.
Mhm.
I prefer him in the games because it makes more sense.
I also
Because it
don't.
also takes away some of the stuff that Annette Birkin does,
Mhm.
which is, I mean, kind of pivotal to things that happen in, again, there's a character who's getting shafted throughout this movie. I won't say exactly
We'll
who it
get
is
there
until
in
spoilers.
spoilers. Yeah.
But they're getting shafted this entire movie because their plot stuff is just gone. Their character interactions with people gone. They're a side character in the story. No, they're a background character in the story that does like have a moment,
Mhm.
which is spoiled in one of the trailers.
Oh, really?
Um,
I did not know
yes.
that. Okay.
It's the scene from the train
Okay.
when they do the thing, and they're like, "Really?" And he's like, "What?" Um, just continually shafted throughout the movie.
Mm.
And I am upset about it.
I mean, there's also my second biggest complaint after like all the darkness, or maybe I've got a lot of complaints about this movie, but after the darkness and after the bad CG and after like the non-coherent storytelling, um, I did not like their writing when it came to like trying to establish the time, like what year this movie takes place in, because they tried really hard to make it be like, hey, remember we're in the 1998 where you're gonna have Blockbuster and you don't know what the internet is, and all this, like they tried really hard to reference everything from the early 90s, so
Oh, well, from the early 2000s,
early 2000s too, yeah.
like late 90s, early aughts.
Mm-hmm. And it kind of took me out of the movie from time to time. Like I don't care what time period the movie takes place in, because the stuff that happens in this movie doesn't really matter what time it takes place in. This could be taking place based off of what we see in the year 2020 based off technology. The only difference is they really focused on the Nokia cell phones. Like it could have been anything else.
Indestructible little thing.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't they use that in the zombie apocalypse? Just throw it at people's heads. Totally fine.
Would have worked.
Mm-hmm. Put it on a sledgehammer.
Yeah. Put it on a stick and hit him with it.
Yeah.
The stick will break first.
I wish we
But
were
use a metal
joking.
pole, and the metal pole will still break first.
uh,
The metal pole will bend before that phone breaks.
so I do gotta say, I liked some of the stuff that they set up. Um, I like how they established the dog. Um, I like how they established the virus originally. Um, I don't like the amount of text that they use in this movie. Like, they needed a better way to tell us the transition of time, other than every like 10 minutes having it be 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 2:20 a.m.
Yeah, that dude, that took me out so many times.
Mm-hmm. And it's just because, like you said, they were trying to shove too much stuff in here. They didn't know where to stop. They could have easily stopped with just the story of, um, literally just the story of Chris, or just the story of any character, really. We have entire movies based off of just two people, or video games based off of just two people. Like, man.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not gonna. I 100% agree with you. This movie is trying to do too many of the plot lines together. Like, this movie should have been just the mansion. Take out Jill, or take out Claire, take out Leon, take out everything that happens take out Welcome to Raccoon City. Okay.
Yeah, take out Raccoon City.
If you're gonna combine two games together, combine 2 and 3 because they have intersections together. Not 1 and 2. Because there are too many people, and you just end up losing a lot of stuff with where this goes. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not happy with this one. I will say it is better than the rest of the Resident Evil movies, in my opinion.
I kind of agree with that. Like,
but it's boring.
I definitely agree with that. I'm trying to think of any other things very specifically to talk about other than like the non-spoilery things. And I got nothing. I think we've covered a good amount on this movie, honestly.
All right. So now we rank and list it.
Yeah.
Here's your popcorn.
Yeah, with my popcorn kernels, I'm gonna give this one a 6. I was leaning originally when I first left around a 6, like the theater, around a 6.5. But after thinking about it,
Jesus.
Yeah. After thinking about it, yeah, it's like you could arguably bring it down to a 5.5. But there are some things that I liked, and I thought they were well done. Most of it was the mansion.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna bring it down to a 5.5 by giving it a 5.
All right, totally fine.
I think this movie is just middle of the road. It doesn't really do anything too offensive other than what it, nerfs a character. But it is what it is. That's what we're dealing with. And so we are left with the last part.
Ranking them on our video game movie list.
Ranking them on to our movie video game list.
Yeah. Oh man.
All right, everybody. Here we go.
Oh man, these are some terrible movies. Looking at this list.
It really is not a good list. So starting from the bottom, and now we're here. Starting at number 12, and arguably could lose its spot, depending on what we choose with the first movie we watched today.
Yeah, as the worst movie.
Worst video game movie so far that we've watched. It probably won't, but it's got a contender now.
Mm-hmm.
Number 12, Monster 2020. Number 11, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Sorry, I don't need to read the year every time. Number 10, Angry Birds 2. Number 9, Assassin's Creed. Number 7 is a tie between Mortal Kombat 2021 and Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Number 6 is Mortal Kombat 1995. Number 5, and the movie that is so hard to beat,
The Stone Wall.
Our literal stone wall, our steel wall.
Yeah.
Battleship. Number 4, Tomb Raider. Number 3, Rampage. Number 2, Sonic. And number 1, Detective Pikachu.
So you know what's gonna be really sad?
What's up?
Is if this movie, like the 2002 Resident Evil, is on the bottom of the list. Both movies starring Mila Jovovich are going to be on the bottom of the list.
I will argue that the entire Resident Evil series, outside of Welcome to Raccoon City, will be at the bottom of the list.
Yeah. Is it just she had...
You want to know who it is? It's her fucking...
agent.
It's Paul Wes Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm pretty sure they're married, if I remember correctly.
Okay. You might be right there. Let me double check. Mila Jovovich, marriage. Yeah, current. No, I think they actually broke up.
Oh, well, maybe they
or
broke up over
or
Monster Hunter.
divorced. It looks like they divorced this year.
They broke up over Monster Hunter.
Or maybe. Uh, Still married to Mila? I guess I can't really tell. Because
Yeah, IMDb still says they're married.
because like when I look at it here, when it shows her first marriage from 92 to 92, it shows her second marriage from 97 to 99, and then it shows her third marriage from 2009 to 2021. It says it doesn't say to current, which is where my confusion is coming from.
Monster, just to let you know, sure, the first Pokemon movie is amazing, but it is not a good movie. It doesn't introduce Pokemon in a way that makes sense for new audiences and stuff like that. It is just made for the fans, which is great. But when it comes to movies that we're ranking on a list, we have to take entertainment factor and decent moviness. And Mortal Kombat 1995 beats it. And then Battleship is just this dumb fun movie that like
Yeah,
has become the steel wall.
yeah, it's so bad, but it's so.
This is talking. You're also talking to someone who would love to put Pokemon the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, up higher in the list because I love ridiculously titled movies. And I'm a sucker for that movie. But again, like being reasonable about it, like it's not a better video because like also we do rate this off of being a video game movie. And to be fair to the Pokemon anime, it is not a good adaptation of the games. And thus the movies are not good adaptations of the games. Um, and we do factor that in on this list. The only reason why Battleship is at number 5 is because it literally kind of actually represents the board game in some ways. By actually
There,
having like a radar thing that you like actually shoot at like spots.
it's
And
such a
like
stupid Easter egg, but it's so like
and
funny.
like there's the thing that like the alien ship shoots that are
The
essentially the
pegs, yeah.
pegs. Like it does a stupid job, but it represents the fucking board game, and it has a goddamn blast of a time doing it.
There are moments where it takes itself a little too seriously, but it's still. I'd probably watch it again.
Oh, we've talked about it. We will watch that movie again at some point. That one would be fun, like a fun movie night to just hang out and watch a stupid fucking movie. Tomb Raider's up there because it's a really good accurate representation of that the recent remakes of the Tomb Raider series. Rampage has The Rock,
He's charismatic. How can you not like him?
and is like also represents Rampage pretty well. Sonic and Detective Pikachu are like crowning jewels to what um movies can be
Mm-hmm.
for video games. Like they're just really good. Like genuinely good video game movies. So I don't see those ever like really losing their crown at this point.
Yeah, I
So
don't really either. But now the question is, where are we going to put, at least right now, the very first Resident Evil movie? Resident Evil
okay.
2002.
Thinking about it, I think Monster Hunter is worse than it.
I mean, they're both stories that are completely original based off of the original
That has
concept.
no real correlation to its
Mm-hmm.
source material.
Mm-hmm.
Monster Hunter, I think, is closer to its source material.
In this instance, I do think so. The only, like, at least in Monster Hunter, they still had the funky outfits and the crazy swords and.
My only thing about it is I think it is a worse told movie,
Mm-hmm.
and it is just bad.
Yeah, the difference is 18 years, and we have to debate if Monster Hunter is better. Yeah, let's put Resident Evil, I think, at 13th above, or yeah, at least 12th, and then we'll mark Monster Hunter down to 13th for now.
Okay, well, I'm just going to put those as 13, 14 because I don't see Welcome to Raccoon City being worse than
No.
those two movies.
Yeah.
So 13, 14 is now solidified.
So my question is, with this movie, I know it has too much crammed in there. It's too dark and the CG's bad. And the story's kind of
Mid-tier at best.
yeah.
Um,
I think it's better than Prince of Persia though.
I agree. I'm almost debating it being better than Assassin's Creed.
I was thinking that too.
I'm currently debating would I rather watch this or Mortal Kombat 2021.
I would probably watch this over Mortal Kombat. But just because I like horror movies and scary movies.
True.
So, I'd be okay with putting Mortal Kombat above Resident Evil.
With putting this at 9.
I'm thinking so.
Okay, I'm perfectly content with that.
Okay.
Because I think Mortal Kombat's got more rewatchability.
Uh-huh.
As bad as it fucking is, that opening scene is so good.
Yeah.
Like it is. I could rewatch that opening scene of Mortal Kombat every time.
Do we want to try to decide this tiebreaker here too, while we're at it, or do we just want to change this number and be happy with it?
I'm okay with doing that.
I'm okay with that too, I think.
All right, so the tie's been broken.
All right.
So now list. God, this list is gonna get long. This is the list that can compete with Marvel's.
You don't say. I mean, I just think it's fascinating that this is what. Let's see. The earliest movie that we have here is in 1995.
Yes.
For now, it's gonna get earlier once the Super Mario Brothers movie comes out.
Fuck.
Uh-huh.
You.
So we have 1995
I don't want to watch the new one. I'm fine with watching the old one. Straight up. I don't want to watch Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm sorry. He's not Mario. He's not Garfield. If you think of Garfield, you don't think of Chris Pratt's voice.
You think of Bill Murray.
Yes. So I said, if we're going with like modern people, maybe at best you do Seth Rogen as Garfield.
I could see Seth Rogen as Garfield.
Right. I said it. I thought about it and told someone about it, and I'm like, yeah, I see that. Okay, I'm right. But not Chris Pratt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, anyways.
Oh yeah. So we have
Illumination fucking movie. Oh god.
we have 26 years of movies, all done from different movie companies, and we have 14 movies here compared to Marvel, which have done it from. I mean, just based off the list that we have right now, have done it since 2008. So 13 years, and they have 26 movies.
28, because there's 2 lower. I mean, do we count those 2? They've done 26 movies themselves and had another studio do 2.
Mm-hmm. I like how they're all the way at the bottom down there. I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah, I'm leaving them there. I said when we did the latest list ranking, when we did Eternals, that I'm like, I'm leaving a gap here until we figure out what is happening with the next movie.
I remember that
because
now.
there are potentially 6 movies we're gonna have to fucking rank. Which, by the way, your homework this weekend, probably we're gonna watch a lot of movies this weekend, Steven.
Are we?
Yes, because guess what comes out next weekend?
Yeah, so isn't next week 3 movies?
Next week is 3 movies for the show.
Yeah.
But then that following Thursday, Spider-Man comes out.
We have to do all that. Yeah. I'm probably not gonna watch all of those movies myself.
I will.
I'll just watch totally not Mark's analysis of it and be like, you know what? Fine. That's fine.
Or you can watch the in review series for them, which is even longer than some of the movies. They talked about fucking Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man movie for like 3 hours.
Jesus. I mean, there's a lot to talk about when it comes to design and ideas and editing.
Well, in my personal opinion, I do still stand by that. I think the Amazing Spider-Man movies are better than the Sam Raimi ones. It's just the Sam Raimi ones are
first.
like, yeah, and have more iconic. Like the Amazing Spider-Man movies are better modern movies. The problem is that it was competing with Marvel itself. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and you just like once Marvel got the ball rolling, like Sony was trying to do too much with like Amazing Spider-Man 2. It's not a bad movie. It's just cluttered. That's its problem. Anyways, yeah, I mean, like this list is the one that can keep up. Anyways, back to the list.
Yeah.
At 14, Monster Hunter. 13, Resident Evil 2002. 12, Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. Number 11, Angry Birds 2. Number 10, Assassin's Creed. Number 9, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City. Number 8, Mortal Kombat 2021. Number 7, Pokemon, the first movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back. Number 6, Mortal Kombat 1995. Number 5, Our Steel Ship, Battleship. Number 4, Tomb Raider 2018. Number 3, Rampage 2018. There's not another Rampage movie, sorry. Number 2, Sonic the Hedgehog, and number 1, Detective Pikachu. I just realized we should do the other Tomb Raiders at some point too, don't we?
We probably should. If we're doing
What
all
are
the Tomb Raiders and we're doing all of the freaking Resident Evils.
God, we got to just start hitting up some video game movies. I think that's what we need to start doing filler weeks with.
Maybe. I mean, the first
That
filler
would be
week,
fun.
starting in January, I'm totally fine with just starting, like, just throwing in whatever we want to throw in there if there's not any, like, movies coming out. So,
I
like,
can check real quick.
yeah.
I have my site that I go to for this stuff.
There's one movie that I might be interested in seeing, but
Scream or Five Cream comes out in January,
that's what's
and Morbius.
Yeah, those
comes
are
at
the
the
only
tail end,
two.
but it would be the first week of February that we would review that. So
yeah, the rest of the time we could do like the last Disney live action movie, since you want to get that out of the way.
At some point I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, week of Christmas, there's not much that we're really like interested in coming out. So yeah, we would have an open week, first week of the year.
The only movie that I want to see that's coming out, I think it might already be out, is Nightmare Alley.
I think that's out.
Yeah. So,
You see, yeah, Nightmare Alley comes out this week.
okay. So by the time we get to that, it'd probably be too late.
Or no, sorry, next week. It comes out the week of Spider-Man.
Okay.
So
yeah, we're not watching that.
Still be in theaters.
Maybe.
If it's in theaters, we can maybe do that the first week, but
yeah,
not,
there's still.
We'll have to throw it on the list for later.
Yeah, we got other fillers we could fill in first.
Yes.
Okay. Are there there any other things that we want to talk about before we head into spoilers?
I think we're good. Let's hit the spoilers.
All right, hit the button.
Let's get ready to spoiler!
Woo, spoilers.
They did my boy Leon so wrong in this movie.
Yeah, he's a little bitch.
They don't use him. He's just there. He's just there the entire time. I feel bad for Jogar?
Gaia? I don't know.
Okay. Who I didn't realize was the dude from Victorious, by the way.
I kind of did.
Which is funny. Okay, so
it's like, why do I recognize him so much?
I know that I did the same thing. And then because I had just watched Quentin Reviews, he's doing a series where he's reviewing through the iCarly cinematic universe. And Victorious
is part of it.
Is a part of it. And he just did his like long ass Victorious video, part 1.
How long is he gonna do? I need to see his Sam and Cat review.
That's after Victorious.
Yeah.
And then he's done 2 videos on iCarly, the original run. He's done the first video for Victorious. He has a second video coming out for the tail end of Victorious, and then it's Sam and Cat. But I looked at him. I pulled up his IMDb like during this, and then I saw Like I was scrolling down and I'm like, da, 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 what's he been in? And then I didn't notice Victorious. What I saw was iParty with Victorious
Uh-huh.
TV movie. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's that like Victorious iCarly crossover thing that happened. Beck Oliver. Wait, isn't Beck one of the characters from the show? And then I look up, there's Victorious. Beck Oliver TV series 2010 to 2013. Wait. I saw fucking 5 hours worth of this dude already.
Yep, you've seen him
And then
before.
yeah, also he was in Zombieland Double Tap. As the guitar playing dude. But yeah, like they did Leon so fucking dirty in this, and I hate it. Also, like Ada shows up in the post credit. Like,
Yeah, that was the worst part about it to me too. Like because they change in the movie, Leon or in the video game, Leon and Ada work together to get through the game and blah 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 blah. In this movie, Ada and Wesker are working together, but we don't know it's Ada working with Wesker until the post credit scene. Yeah, and then at that point,
and then we get the Wesker Revival thing where he gets a variant of the T virus where he's revived and his eyes change color and he can't, he has to wear sunglasses.
mm-hmm.
Which, God, that was stupid seeing him with nothing on and sunglasses on. Funny, but stupid.
Yeah, I was like, man, they're focusing on his butt. This is for the ladies. And now he has sunglasses on and he calms down. He's like, I can't see. I can't. Oh, what's wrong with my eyes? Here's some sunglasses. Oh, cool.
I'm now Wesker.
Yeah.
Jill Valentine, you're going down. Yeah, they did Claire and Leon dirty. Like Claire's the main character of this movie, and I feel like she's done dirty. Who's, by the way, played by Kayla Succadolio.
We gotta practice these names before the show, man. just every single time it's a name you don't know, you're like, da 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 da.
Bitch, have you seen me on Twitch?
Yes, I have. Thank you.
I know. So you know I'm bad at names. Like, bad at names.
I would call her Kayla Scodelario.
That's probably correct. Or closer. Anyways,
Yeah, it's closer than.
do you know, without looking at her IMDb, do you remember what movie we reviewed? Unless you already looked at it and remember. Do you remember what movie she was in that we reviewed?
Looking at her face.
It's an iconic review for us. Because we have brought this up, and it is a literal thing that
Is it How to Train Your Dragon?
No. She's in the movie. It's a live action movie. It's a movie that we use as a reference to how some movies end.
Crawl.
Uh-huh. I saw that on a thing. I'm like, oh shit, it comes back. Crawl is back. Without us referencing a Crawl ending, Crawl returns.
I mean, yeah, and she was also in The Maze Runner. We watched those.
Yeah, we did, but like that's less iconic to our lore.
Because Kroll fucking stupid.
It still makes me laugh. It's just a fucking
We're safe. End. I mean, this movie kind of gets close to that, where it's like bombs have gone off. There's literally a house is sunken into the whole like mountainside. Apparently, no one's gonna ask questions at all. Why an entire city?
In Raccoon City.
Yeah, but they type it all up. Not populated, classified, 0 civilians, and then 5 civilians walk out, and the movie.
And we get Wesker and Ada.
Yeah.
Which, dude, like, I just don't get it, man. Like, also the stuff with, like, William Birkin, like, how he became the, like, G virus variant character, is different than it is in the games. Like, in the games, it's, Annette who gives him the G virus, because you remember my playthrough as Leon.
I do.
Yep. All that shit happens. That's not in here. Fuck Leon's story. That goes to Chris and Claire.
Yep.
Fuck Leon. He doesn't get anything in this movie.
Yeah, literally.
Oh, you want your
Leon.
character to develop with Ada? Too bad. You want anything for Leon? Good.
Too
Too
bad.
fucking bad.
No, he has one cool one-liner. I found this in the first class as he drops a rocket launcher after blowing up what was left of William Birkin. Which I gotta say, that final design with the freaking red eyes was awful.
Oh, I agree 100%. It looked bad.
Like, I liked it when he had the eyes coming out of his shoulder, and I liked the mutating as it happened. I thought that was kind of cool. But, God, the rest was bad.
Yes, I agree. Like, where's his final form from the games? I know how it looks, but I just want to get an image of it real quick. So, yeah, it doesn't look like the one from the games either. Like, it's different. It just looks worse.
You know what I want to see in this one of these movies at some point? Mr. X.
Okay, straight up, that jail scene, I
Mhm.
thought that was Mr. X.
Really?
The zombie that was getting up.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like a pale figure that you can't make out because the movie's too dark to see how
Yeah,
big he
but
was.
you just saw
see
a white
pale
face.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see this big ass pale head, and I'm like, huh. Well, that'd be an interesting development this late in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's just a fucking zombie and
Yep.
kills the dude, and yeah,
And then
I don't know.
we don't even see the dude he kills. At least I don't think we do. Because they make a point to bring back everyone else who's turned into a zombie. But
Yeah,
not the scientist. Or the reporter or whatever he.
yeah. I don't know, man. He's a scientist person, I guess. I don't know. It's just. This isn't how you do it. There's too much in this. Like, there's too many plots in this, and it's like you modified it too much for game audiences, and you made it too bad for new audiences.
Yeah. Like, and the references that they threw in there too. Like, what about the twins? The video reel with the twins? I feel like that was supposed to be important.
Oh God, right. Ugh, I forgot to look that up.
And the whole, like, when this virus started breaking out and the neighbor lady just like draws in blood.
The Ashford twins are descendants of Edward Ashford, the co-founder of Umbrella, and are responsible for the T Victorian virus or Veronica virus, which Alexa, the daughter, created it, which, unlike the T virus, could potentially allow the infected to maintain lucidity and even control mutations.
All right. Yeah, I haven't really got much else to talk about on this movie, spoiler wise either, because it was disappointing.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not even from one of the main games. They're from Code Victoria. Pretty sure that's a movie, right?
Resident
Yeah.
Evil Code Victoria.
Yeah. Oh, it's a survival horror game which was released in 2000.
Code Veronica.
Oh, Vergonic. Whatever. I'm dyslexic. Fuck you.
It's a major installment. Okay. And the first to debut on a separate platform from PlayStation. Oh.
Yeah.
Fancy that.
Yeah, fucking Resident Evil, and it's like multi-platformed series.
Mm-hmm. Man, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how much, I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to bitch about Leon being nerfed as fucking shit.
Yeah, I mean, he was really disappointing in this movie. He literally does nothing. I guess they turned him into, like, the audience vehicle, the one who's supposed to be like, what's happening? What's going on? But they should have done that with another character.
He's supposed to be like that in the game a little. He's supposed to be like, what is going on? like in the game, and
Yeah,
he's like,
but the
but
difference
he
in
learns.
yeah, the difference in the game and this one is he becomes like a hero and like a reluctantly he steps up to the position that he's supposed to be in. While in this movie, the entire time he's being saved by somebody else.
Yeah,
Oh well, can't do anything about it now.
yeah, pretty much. And this movie's not getting a sequel, probably, despite it trying. We'll see.
Wait till they get to the movie about the eighth game. I want to see what they do. Like they did a movie with the first and second games. Now they're probably going to do one specifically for just the third game.
How?
I have.
Do you
no
know what the
fucking
third game
idea.
takes place in?
In the mansion, right?
No, that's the first game.
I thought the first game was in the police station.
That's the second game.
Okay. Then what's the third
Uh,
game?
Is Jill trying to get out of Raccoon City during the events? Like 2 happens during 3. Like 3,
Yeah,
she's
at the same
when
time.
she's chased by Nemesis
Mm-hmm.
during
Okay.
it.
Okay. Yeah. And the remake of 3 is considered like an action game more than a horror.
Yeah,
game.
and it's like it's the current canon version because like
Mhm.
it's just a remake and updated and stuff like that. So
Okay. Yeah, but I would love to see what they do with 4 because that's when they start getting into like the parasites. And,
yeah, but my problem with that is we're skipping so much to get to 4 then,
Mhm.
and Leon hasn't earned it.
No, yeah, he hasn't become like a federal agent type person.
Yeah, like ah, he hasn't gotten there yet. I don't know, man. Like it's we're missing something. We can't do 5 because during 5, like Jill loses her memory and has like one of those things on her, right? Some of those things that makes her lose her memory, and all that shit happens in 5. But like Jill also needs to get chased down by Nemesis and shit like that first.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't do that because we don't have Raccoon City anymore to have that happen in.
Well, there's
We
still the rubble remains of whatever ramp they came out of. They might have to walk through the destroyed, decayed city.
they are outside of Raccoon City. They're in a new city.
Yeah, a new train, also owned by Umbrella. So
The only reason why the train's not even in the first game.
nope.
Jill gets out on the train in the fucking third game.
This kind of reminds me of when I got really upset with the Cirque du Vampire movie because they tried to combine all 13 of the books into one movie. And it's like, what did you do?
Yeah, I guess that's a fair comparison because it's just like I'm sitting here wondering why we like condensed down so much because like you could have just done the mansion
Easily.
100%,
But
and
my
it would have
guess
been a
is
good
they,
movie.
they wanted to give us a reason to go to the mansion other than just starting us being like, we need to get there. And
No, you started off like you do, like you start from the scene where they're like, hey, a couple officers are missing up by the mansion. Go check it out. Cameo, like I'm okay if you want to have Leon in the city, okay?
that's, yeah, I feel like they could have started it in the diner probably. And
Yeah,
they're
sure.
all still they're in police outfits instead of their casuals, and then they hear it over the radio. And then Leon's like, "All right, I'll head back to the police station," and then that's the end of him in this movie.
Yes, and then we get back. Well, no, I don't want Leon in because then we don't get the gas station scene. I mean, we can modify the gas station scene that Leon's still there. Hey, I'm a rookie on the force kind of thing, and I'm just out here at the gas station, my time off kind of thing.
Hmm.
And then that's how him and Claire get introduced. Um,
They can introduce to different
you
way.
can make it. You can modify to make it work where he's still introduced if you really want Leon in this movie for a brief moment. But as they like have them come back, right, and things are just off, right,
Mhm.
and we start setting up for 2 and 3 to happen.
Uh-huh.
Okay, where like the city, like certain things in the city are starting to decay and stuff like that. No, because that still doesn't work for Leon. Because Leon needs to show up during the start of the
Yeah,
shit.
once the virus starts breaking out.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess no Leon. Just start us in that scene with them at the station where they're talking to the chief. Like, or have a scene where they're hanging out and then they get him called back to the station and stuff like that. Be like,
Mhm.
hey, Go check out the mansion. 2 of our boys are up there. We don't know what's going on. And then we do the whole scene. We don't lose as many people because the helicopter guy is supposed to show up in 3 in the game.
Mhm.
And then die there. But like, yeah, there's a lot of shit that's just like not able to happen. Because like the members of Star who survive are supposed to get back, and that's why Nemesis is hunting them down because they know what happened
Mhm.
at the mansion, and Jill is willing to go to the press with it. Just a lot of things that are missing at this point that can't happen, and it's like,
Well, yeah. Next step is they're gonna go out to the press with all the information that they can, and because everyone's still alive, including Wesker. Which I want to know how she secured his body. Because wasn't it underground after, a mansion collapsed on it? When the whole facility was supposed to have blown up?
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I thought so.
Couldn't tell you, buddy. Couldn't tell you.
Well, I think I'm happy with what we've done here with this week.
I'm happy with it too. Let's
Ready
move
to,
on.
Yeah, let's move on. Hit the news button. All right. So we're here. I haven't really got much to talk about in the world of movies and whatnot. There's sad news out there. There's news of things being restarted. There's news of sequels coming out for Disney movies, but of course that's going to happen because they're Disney and Marvel movies. So I guess the only thing I want to talk about would be next week's movies. Unless there's some news that you want to talk about.
I got no news.
All right, cool. Let's talk about next week's movies. Which next week, we're gonna get wrapped up and digified and not Tron. We're going into the Matrix. So yeah. Matrix 1, 2, and 3, baby. That's gonna be great. I mean, they're not 1, 2, and 3, but you get the idea. Matrix, then Matrix Revolutions, and then Matrix Reloaded. Or
The Matrix Reloaded, and the Matrix Revolutions.
I got it mixed up. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, watch those movies with us. Well, not with us, but come talk about it with us next week. You get it. We've done this. You know what to do. Yeah, I got nothing else.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Do all the things.
Yeah. Like, comment, subscribe, leave a bell, leave a review, and we'll see you next week when we jack in. You get it. Okay, bye.
I know Kung Fu. Show me.